it's time for yet another episode of Kevin's Toy Box. And we have two gigantic thrashers here with us today. Probably some of the coolest of these ones. I mean, like, the last ones were, like, the Tyrannotitan and the Eotriceratops. I believe Mattel was trying to do, like a pseudo-T-Rex, pseudo-Triceratops kind of thing. But they were super stylized and I wasn't really interested in them. But these two look very cool. And so we're going to let them out right now. Cue the scissors.
Snip, snip. See it? Wow. Here we go. Purussaurus free. And Chili is free as well. Unless there's a foot that's also tied up there.
It's been a while since I pulled it out of the box myself. Here we go. We got the Purussaurus here. And now we grab the chili. Oh, there we go. It wasn't tied in at all. It was very easy to take out. Whoa! And here with me is the chili and the Purussaurus. Which one to talk about first? Well, I'm looking in the direction of the Purussaurus, so we'll start with that one. Now, Zainreborn has a lot of toy crocodiles and alligators and all of those things that crawl around like me. They're basically bigger versions of me, but except they're smaller than me because they're toys. And this one is, there's actually something a bit unique about it. For starters, look at its stance. While most crocs are just on their bellies like me, because I got my legs to the side, I like to spend my time on my belly all the time, because it's just less energy to hold myself up. But this guy's in a stance of, like, he's active. This is his most active stance. He's got the belly off the ground. He is walking around on those feet. I think this is what Caprosuchus looks like nowadays. It's not the skinny-legged creature we all thought it was. But either way, this one is like, it's upright. I'm not sure if that's accurate for Purussaurus, but still, it's a fun note to see like a gator that can hold its belly. It's not a belly dragger. Now let's get a closer look at the face, because that's the most important part of a dinosaur toy. The face. And the Purussaurus has a pretty good-looking face. Now the thing is, we can tell it's not a crocodile, because the face is rounded, as you can see here. Not very pointy like my head, although if I extended my nose a little bit, I would also be a crocodile, but this is not a crocodile. It's a caiman, which is why its nose is more rounded, but it still has the teeth coming, like, it's got like two random teeth sticking out of its mouth. I don't know how I feel about that. That's kind of silly, honestly. I would have preferred if it was just the upper teeth over it. Like, I guess that's more like an alligator than a caiman. I gotta be honest, I didn't study up on caimans. I only know the differences between gators and crocs. And this is not neither. It's a caiman, which is its own thing. And it's a big caiman. At least, am I saying this right? Again, I don't know much about Purussaurus either, other than it's another one of those big guys that people like. And now, since I'm over here, let us talk about the scale detail as soon as I get out of the way. You know those scoots they love putting on all the Jurassic World dinosaurs? How they're all very much caiman-like, and that's how they say it is? Well, that's exactly the case here. This is basically a Jurassic World back, equipped with the spinal spikes and everything. This is definitely a Jurassic World-ified Purussaurus if I ever saw one. And this time it makes sense because the scoots are actually part of the animal, you know? And then it goes all the way down to the tail, which has even more spikes. I'm not sure, that's definitely an exaggeration, but it's a good exaggeration. It doesn't take away from the figure because the head looks nice. It's not like those newer Jurassic World toys where it's so exaggerated on things. Like, did you see the thagomizers on that new Stego? It's hideous. I am not interested in many of those. Paintwork is pretty standard for a Mattel toy, although little extra actually. No painted toes, but they're tiny, so whatever. But it's got like the teeth are fine, the inside of the mouth is fine. A nice lovely blue shade on the underside of the belly actually, I like that. How it goes down, it even goes down. Oh, actually. The leg is a little bit of a darker shade, so extra points. There's definitely a bit of effort to really seamlessly blend the colors together, which makes sense as a lot of alligators, which I notice this thing's taking a lot of inspiration from alligators because, you know, crocs are very greenish gray. This one's more of a bluish gray. There's even a subtle light blue pattern that starts up and goes down to the tail so it doesn't feel naked, which also helps as well. And if we flip this thing over, you can see the belly paint is the standard material. Oh, that's pleasant. The bit of the jaw has a bit of blue on it so it blends better with the front. The legs and I still can't get over how the legs are a bit darker here to really emphasize just how the blue is disappearing and whatnot. It makes it feel more natural, you know? Kind of wish they added a little more paint to the bottom of the tail, but you know what? This is fine. This is a well-painted figure, and I also forgot that they brought back the scan codes. No more of these tag things that you have to pull up for the DNA code. I hated those. I think the only issue I have with this thing is that it's not as big as I thought it was gonna be, because when I saw the promo pics, it looked like a really big dude, you know what I mean? And now, if we compare it to the previous crocs, or like crocodilians that came before it, okay, so it's still pretty big compared to the other crocs. In fact, it is the biggest one, and that's mainly, it's not just because it stands taller, but because it is, it's just a big guy. It definitely looks bulkier than the Sarcosuchus, who, actually, he also stands upright and doesn't drag his belly. You sort of drag your belly? Yeah, actually, you do drag your belly. But if I'm being honest, none of these guys feel like giant crocs that would be able to take out dinosaurs because, wow, look how small they are in comparison to all the heavyweights. I'm pretty sure Sarcosuchus and Purussaurus were at least big enough, well, you know, they could contend with T-Rex, I think. Again, I didn't study up too much on these guys, but like, they could have been a little bigger. But now, let's talk action feature. The Purussaurus has one of those special auto-snapping features where you turn it one way, it snaps. You turn it the other way, it snaps. You rotate it, it snaps. That's basically it. Although this rotation thing also comes with like the ability to like move the leg forward, but it's kind of loose and random at times. The other leg as well, you can see it moving in the back there. I think it actually works better for that leg. But other than that, it's a simple one. I think I prefer the Sarcosuchus's gimmick more, where you have a little more free range on when you close the jaw. But yes, this is a very nice addition to my lizard army. But it's time to move on to its wave mate, the chili guy. I forgot his name and I'm not gonna bother trying to say it. This right here is our newest Megaraptor in the Jurassic World line. The other ones being Orcoraptor and Megaraptor. And this is the biggest one, or at least the tallest one, as it has the proper legs to look like it stands taller. Although not as tall as these guys right here, of course, but these guys were never meant to be the biggest, they were meant to be the scary ones. And scary this one is. Look at that paint, it's like a Dinosaur Revolution T-Rex with the black and the white to make it look like a skeleton appearance, but also a bit of transitioning to purplish pink at the front here for some nice color variation. Some nice red under the throat and the eyes. This is an edgelord dinosaur right here, which is fitting for a Megaraptor. But unlike the Purussaurus, this dinosaur suffers the same problem as every other dinosaur in the main line. The lack of a painted behind. Legs, no paint. Tail, no paint. Underbelly, no paint. Quite unfortunate. But I do love the patterning on the back. It's very I can't really describe it, but it's just a nice looking plated pseudo armor kind of thing. Fake armor, not really quite real armor that ends in these really cool looking tail spikes as well. Definitely a cool looking dinosaur with a cool looking sculpt and a lack of a paint. So basically, like every dinosaur in the main line. And of course, the action gimmick. This one's actually better than the Purussaurus. It still has the whole auto... Oh, wait. Well, it takes a while. But because of that, you can get a pretty cool roaring shot. Roar! Roar! Do it slowly and he'll roar. And the arms move with him as well, so it gets like a really cool intimidation shot. And then move the tail the opposite direction. And okay, that one doesn't auto-snap, so that one is not as cool. It's the same gimmick as the Cilantaisaurus, which made it hard to get some really cool action poses. You can't really... It does it way too early, so you can't really get a cool roaring at the moon shot. But the arms are connected to it, which I guess is the thing that makes it new. And another new thing is that you can rotate the tail as well, which makes for some more dynamic shots, which, because it closes... Oh, this time it's not doing it. That way... Okay, so it's definitely fickle. This way... Oh. Well, now you're just being inconsistent, but that's a cool shot as well. You can get some cool photos like that. That's nice. I like that one. Here's a size comparison with our only other Megaraptor we have on hand. It's the Dinosaur King Megaraptor. Our Eotriceratops is hiding somewhere. But as you can see, the original Megaraptor is only slightly shorter than the new chili one. In fact, I'd say body-wise, they're... Okay, so it's proportionately longer. Well, you compare them at the hip and you can see it's definitely a lot bigger. So, yeah. I could say that it's a gigantic tracker. So, yeah, that's a fairly decent size. And this is going to conclude my review of the gigantic thrashers, Cilantaisaurus and Purussaurus. Now, I'd say in terms of like paint and sculpt, I gotta say I like the Purussaurus more. Although in terms of paint colors and action features, I'd say the Cilantaisaurus is a much better dinosaur. Although, technically, it's the better dinosaur by default because it's the only one that is a dinosaur. This one here is a gator caiman guy. If you were to pick one of these, like you had to just pick one of these, which one would you take? I'd personally take the Purussaurus because I need to grow my croc army. But what do I know? I'm just a random lizard on the internet. Goodbye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video from beginning to end. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel and join the Zainreborn community. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.